Oh, I must have left it in the bathroom or something, she said casually, shrugging like it was no big deal. But it was. My wife never took off her wedding ring. Not when she cooked, not when she slept, not even when we went hiking or swimming on vacation. That ring was always on her finger until that morning. I remember noticing it over breakfast. She was scrolling through her phone like usual, sipping her coffee, half listening to me ramble about something from work. But my eyes caught her left hand resting on the table, and the unmistakable absence of that simple gold band. "Where's your ring?" I asked, half curious, half joking. Her eyes flicked up just for a second. Then came the shrug, the laugh, the effortless dismissal. But something about it didn't sit right. I tried to brush it off. We all misplace things. Maybe she really did leave it in the bathroom. But that strange flicker in her expression, that half-second pause, stuck with me. It wasn't surprise, it wasn't guilt. It was like she had rehearsed the answer. And just like that, a whisper of a doubt started growing in my mind. At first, I told myself I was overthinking. We were fine, right? But that missing ring? It was only the beginning. At first, I kept telling myself it was nothing. People lose things. Rings slip off in the shower, get left on sinks, fall behind furniture. That had to be it. I just needed to stop obsessing over it. But I couldn't, especially because she didn't seem to care. That night after she got home from work, I expected her to say something. Maybe mention finding it, or at least act bothered that it was gone. But she didn't bring it up once. She acted completely normal. Smiled, kissed me on the cheek, asked what I wanted for dinner. No mention of the ring. I waited until we were both sitting on the couch to ask again. "So, any luck finding your ring?" She glanced up from her phone and gave me the same casual shrug. "Not yet. It'll turn up." That was it. No concern, no frustration, just indifference. Which was strange, considering how much it used to mean to her. I still remembered how she would fidget with it whenever she was nervous. How she used to call it her favorite thing in the world, because it reminded her of us, of our vows, of our beginnings. Now, it was as if she'd forgotten she ever wore it. Over the next few days, I started noticing other things, subtle changes I might have missed before. She used to be talkative after work, always had a story to tell, some funny office drama, or a long rant about traffic. But lately she'd come home quiet, distracted, eyes glued to her phone. No more stories, no more shared laughter. She also started showering as soon as she walked in the door. That used to be my habit, not hers. But now it was like clockwork. She'd step inside, drop her purse, and head straight to the bathroom. Sometimes she'd even close the door before saying hi. And her phone. It was never out of reach. She used to leave it on the table, screen up, sound on. Now it was always face down, locked or buried in her bag. Once, when I reached over to move it so I could wipe down the counter, she practically jumped and snatched it away, laughing nervously. "Sorry, just didn't want you to see how many unread work emails I have." Right? Then there were the late nights. She started having more after-hours meetings and client dinners. The first couple of times, I didn't think much of it. Her job was demanding. But one Thursday night, she didn't get home until almost midnight. Said the team had gone for drinks after a presentation. She smelled like perfume and wine, but not hers. And her lipstick was long gone. That night, something shifted in me. I stopped dismissing the signs. The next day, while doing laundry, I found something in the pocket of her blazer. At first, I thought it was a receipt for coffee or to lunch. But when I unfolded it, my stomach turned. It was a hotel receipt. Ridgecrest Hotel. The name jumped off the page like it was glowing. It wasn't some luxury a downtown resort. It was a mid-range hotel on the edge of the city. Private, tucked away, not the kind of place you go for drinks with coworkers. The timestamp read 7:42 p.m. The same night she said she was out with her team. I sat down on the edge of the bed, staring at it, reading it over and over like maybe the words would change. They didn't. I didn't say anything to her. I couldn't. Not yet. I needed more than a gut feeling and a piece of paper. If I brought it up now, she'd just talk her way out of it, make it sound innocent, accuse me of being paranoid. So I decided to wait, to watch. That weekend I checked the hotel online, looked up reviews, floor plans, lobby photos. I memorized everything I could. Monday came. She left for work like normal, kiss on the cheek, coffee in hand, phone clutched tightly. I pretended like everything was fine. But that night, when she said she was staying late for a project deadline, I didn't go home right away. I stayed in my car, parked 2 blocks from her office, watching, waiting. Nothing happened, just a normal evening. But I wasn't going to stop there because now I knew something was off, and deep down I was sure the missing ring was never lost. It was removed on purpose, and I was going to find out why. I waited in my car across the street just like I'd planned. She had told me she'd be working late again, another last-minute meeting with her team, some tight deadline that couldn't wait until morning. But I'd heard that before. And this time I wasn't just going to take her word for it. I wasn't guessing anymore. I was watching. She left our driveway around 6:40 p.m. I followed 5 minutes later, far enough back to stay out of her mirrors, but close enough to track every turn. No music, no distractions, just the drumbeat of my heart in my ears, keeping rhythm with the doubts that had been building for weeks. She didn't drive downtown. She didn't head toward her office or the restaurant she claimed they were meeting at. Instead, she exited off the highway into a quieter part of town. Less traffic, dimmer lights. And when she turned into a familiar parking lot, I knew exactly where we were. Ridgecrest Hotel. My stomach dropped. She pulled into a space near the side entrance, cut the engine, and stepped out, adjusting her hair in the mirror. Her outfit was sharp. Heels, a fitted blazer, lipstick a shade darker than usual. She didn't look stressed. She didn't look rushed. She looked like someone meeting someone special. She walked inside without hesitation. I parked across the street, engine off, every muscle in my body stiff with dread. I should have felt something, anger, heartbreak, even fear, but all I felt was stillness, like I was floating in the moment right before everything exploded. And then he appeared. The man. Tall, sharp suit, the kind of confidence you can't fake. He walked out the side entrance with a familiarity that made my skin crawl. His steps were relaxed, practiced, like he knew exactly who he was here to see. They met just outside the lobby doors. And she smiled. Not a polite smile, not a business smile, that smile. The one she used to give me when I brought home her favorite takeout or surprised her with flowers just because. It was the kind of smile that said, "I've missed you." She walked into his arms. They hugged, not quick or awkward, but slow, intimate, her face buried in his chest like she belonged there. I felt my throat tighten. Then they pulled back, and she reached up, brushing something on his chest with her fingertips, giggling, touching it like it was their little secret. That's when I saw it. A silver chain. I leaned forward, squinting through the windshield, trying to make it out. The parking lot light hit it just right, and for a second it glinted gold. A ring. Not just any ring. Her wedding ring. My chest caved in. It was hanging from the chain right over his heart. The slim band, no diamonds, no engravings. Just the one tiny nick on the side that only I would have noticed. A flaw, she used to say, made it uniquely hers. And now she had given it away. Literally. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. The reality hit me like a freight train. She hadn't lost the ring. She hadn't forgotten it in the bathroom. She had taken it off and handed it to another man like it meant nothing, or worse, like it meant everything to him now. I snapped a photo. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone. But I needed the evidence, not to prove anything to anyone else, but to myself, so I would never, ever doubt what I saw here tonight. And then, against all logic, I got out of the car. I crossed the street without thinking. My legs moved on autopilot, my mind locked in a fog of disbelief and fury. I was 10 feet away before they even noticed me. "Nice necklace," I said, voice flat, cold. They turned. Her face went white, his brows furrowed in confusion. "Matt?" she said like my name burned her tongue. I didn't look at her. My eyes were on him. "That ring. Where did you get it?" He looked down, touched the band hanging against his shirt, suddenly self-conscious. "It's, just something she gave me. She told you she was single, didn't she?" He blinked. "She said the divorce was almost final." That was the moment she broke. Her mouth opened, then closed. Panic flickered in her eyes. Her voice came out small, cracked. "Matt, I was going to tell you. I didn't mean for it to—" I cut her off. "Didn't mean for what? For me to find out? Or for me to see you hand over your wedding ring like it was a party favor?" Tears welled in her eyes. "Please, just listen." "No!" I snapped. "You don't get to cry. You don't get to pretend you didn't plan this. Every time you looked me in the eye these past few months, every night you came home and kissed me like everything was fine, you were already here. With him." She turned to the man, her voice trembling. "I didn't lie. I was going to file—" "Save it," I said. "To both of you." He finally spoke again. "Look, I didn't know—" "You didn't want to know," I said, staring him down. "But congratulations. You got what you wanted. You can keep the ring." I turned back to her one last time. "You threw away everything for this? For some secret hotel romance and a necklace?" Her lip quivered. "Matt, I'm so sorry." "You will be," I said quietly. And I walked away. She called after me. I didn't turn around, because the ring was gone. The love was gone. And the man I used to be, the one who trusted her blindly, was gone too. I didn't go home that night. I couldn't. Instead, I drove. No destination, no map. Just endless turns through quiet neighborhoods, city lights blurring past the windshield while my thoughts screamed inside my skull. I'd imagined heartbreak would feel loud, shouting, glass breaking, doors slamming. But it wasn't like that. It was quiet, hollow, like walking through the ruins of a house that used to be yours. My phone buzzed nonstop. Her name over and over again, missed calls, voicemails, then texts. "Matt, please come home. I messed up, but I didn't mean to hurt you. Can we talk? Just one conversation, please." I turned the phone off. The next morning, I walked into my lawyer's office. No dramatic goodbye, no second chances. Just a signed petition for divorce and a plan to make this as clean and quick as possible. My lawyer raised an eyebrow when I said I didn't want anything from her, no revenge, no dragging it out. I just wanted out. By the time I got back to the house, she was sitting on the porch, knees pulled to her chest, looking smaller than I had ever seen her. Her eyes were swollen, makeup smeared, but I didn't feel pity. I felt exhausted. She stood when she saw me. "Matt, don't," I said, holding up a hand. "It's already done." "I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered. "It just got out of control. I never stopped loving you." I let out a bitter laugh. "You gave our wedding ring to another man. You stopped loving me long before I found out?" She broke down, sobbing, reaching for my arm, but I stepped back. "No more lies," I said. "No more scenes. Just sign the papers when they come." She did. 2 weeks later, I moved out. The house felt like a graveyard anyway. Word got around quickly, especially once the photos made their way online. I never posted them. I never told anyone what happened. But somehow someone at the hotel must have seen the scene in the parking lot, and suddenly there were whispers. The man she was with, her boss, married of course, with a reputation to protect. His wife found out soon after. His company launched an internal investigation, and he stepped down less than a month later. My ex-wife lost her job too. Conflict of interest, bad press, who knows the official reason. All I knew was the two people who thought they could have it all ended up with nothing. But here's the strange part. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel like I'd won. Even as they unraveled, even as she begged for forgiveness again through emails and letters and late-night voicemails, I didn't feel better. I felt nothing. Because when someone rips your heart out, it's not about getting even. It's about learning how to feel whole again. And that takes time. I started over slowly. A new apartment, new furniture, quiet weekends. For the first time in years, I made decisions without looking over my shoulder, without wondering what she would think, or if she was even telling me the truth anymore. I deleted every photo of us. I didn't keep the ring, and I never answered her messages again. Some people said I was cold, that I should have at least given her a chance to explain, to rebuild, to redeem herself. But the truth is, she already had that chance. She had it every day she chose to lie to my face. Now the only thing I owe her is distance and peace. Betrayal doesn't always announce itself with screaming or broken glass. Sometimes it hides in the quiet. The missing wedding ring, the unexplained late nights, the stories that almost sound believable if you really, really want to believe them. For the longest time I did. I wanted to believe that the woman I married, my best friend, my partner, could never look me in the eye and lie. That she'd never slip off her wedding ring and hand it to another man like it was meaningless. That she wouldn't take everything we built and throw it into a hotel room with someone else. But she did. And when the truth came out, it didn't feel like justice. It didn't feel satisfying or victorious. It felt like standing in the rubble of something you used to love, realizing it's never coming back. And you're not the same person anymore either. The man she cheated with, her boss, ended up resigning from his company. His wife filed for divorce a month later. His reputation never recovered. From what I heard, he moved cities, started over, tried to rebuild what he'd destroyed. But some things, no matter how hard you try, never come clean. As for my ex-wife, she lost more than her marriage. She lost her job, her credibility, and the version of herself she used to be proud of. Last I heard, she was working freelance, trying to stay under the radar. She sent me one final letter months after the divorce was finalized. It was long, apologetic, and full of self-pity. I didn't reply. I didn't need to, because by then I had already chosen myself. I got a small apartment on the other side of town. It's nothing fancy, but it's peaceful. I sleep better, I eat better, and for the first time in years, I don't feel like I'm constantly walking on eggshells in my own home. It's not happiness yet, but it's the beginning of something honest. And that's more than enough for now. What I learned is this. Trusting someone isn't the same as losing yourself to them. When someone starts making you question your sanity, your instincts, your worth, that's not love. That's control wrapped in comfort. That's manipulation disguised as affection. The lesson isn't to stop loving, it's to love yourself more. Trust your gut. Listen when something feels off. Speak up when you're being silenced. And when the truth finally arrives, don't run from it. Stand up, walk out, close the door gently but firmly, and don't look back. Because the real betrayal isn't what they did behind your back. It's what you allowed while looking the other way. So here's my question to you. If someone you loved lied to your face every day, but still said, "I love you" every night, would that be enough? Or would you finally choose yourself? Let me know in the comments.